All right. The Chiefs came into the Super Bowl winners of 17 straight one-score games, an NFL record. I came into this game thinking it wouldn't be close, and it wasn't. So I thought the Eagles would win by at least 2 scores, and they did. And I think that speaks to really a few things, really. It was a great our physicality is going to trump all defensive game plan by Vic Fangio. And then they went out and executed. And there was never a point in time where this game was even a contest. Up front, Philadelphia's defense absolutely destroyed, inside and outside, the Chiefs' pass protection. No running game to speak of. Mahomes was under duress all day. Both of his interceptions came under duress. And whereas, Jalen Hurts, the game's MVP, looked like he was the dad playing against all the neighborhood kids and had all day to throw, was never pressured, was unbelievable at the line of scrimmage on third down. He was changing plays, protection, signaling receivers, dissecting Kansas City's defense at will. And it was just, as I look at this now, Philadelphia has it all. They've got the blueprint for how to put a team together. They're young, they're big, they're physical, they're athletic. And management-wise, coaching-wise, they're at the top. And now that they've reached the pinnacle, the big question to me is, can they maintain the hunger that it took to get there while they're there? And that's how you win multiple championships, because they're doing it in dominant fashion and they're young. So that's the exciting thing, I think, moving forward for the Eagles. And can the rest of the league catch up in some way? So it was just, to me, a great game to watch. And I know it wasn't interesting, it wasn't close, but it was a phenomenal game executed beautifully by the Eagles, who were underdogs going into this game. And, everybody wants to give, thinking that the combination of Andy Reid and quarterback Patrick Mahomes could be somehow the difference maker. It wasn't, and it was never going to be. Because when you're playing above your head and you're treading water the whole game, which the Chiefs were, and the other team is just shoving you down underneath, you're not winning. And I don't care what game you're playing, what sport you're playing, that's just a fact. And it was Philadelphia, I think, going into this game, probably must have known that. And it was great to see them execute at such a high level. All right. Last week, I left off saying that regarding the Eagles, could they maintain the hunger that it took to get to be Super Bowl champions throughout all of next year, so that we're talking about, can they three-peat? The key point that I left out was signing back their own free agents. And there's a good-sized list. So, but that's also why Howie Roseman is probably the best GM in football. He knew and has acknowledged that by not signing or attempting to sign these guys during last season, that they'd be paying more, once they got there, once they became champions. But he didn't want to, he made a conscious decision not to try signing these guys back during the season, because he wanted them all, the whole team, to be working toward the goal of becoming a champion. And so now here they are. And I think if you look at, to me, their top 3 free agents would be Mekhi Becton, the right guard, defensive end Josh Sweat, and defensive tackle Milton Williams. Those 3 young, dominating guys are irreplaceable. You have to sign them back. The other 3 that I would key in on would be Kenneth Gainwell, the change of pace running back, Zach Bond, who they got for 1 year, became an all-pro linebacker, and Reed Blankenship, the safety. Now, those guys are excellent players, but they are key players, role players, I would say, role starters, that you offer them the contract that might be less than what they're seeking, but then you give them the choice to take less or replace them with someone else. They're at least replaceable. All right. Now, let's move on to the Myles Garrett sweepstakes. He's already said that he wants to play for a team that's got a realistic chance of going to the Super Bowl soon. And in that case, here's my choice of where he should go. You've got a team in Detroit that has, the only reason they didn't go to the Super Bowl is because of all of the injuries, and especially two key ones last year. One was early in the season to probably the best or nearly the best edge rusher in the game in Aiden Hutchinson. The other was late in the season, defensive tackle Aleem McNeil. Both of them will be healthy now to start this season. If you add another future Hall of Famer in there with Myles Garrett, now it almost doesn't matter who you have playing behind those three. And you've got depth that they've already got, but those three are game wreckers. And all of us saw what Philly was able to do with those cards in their hand last year. And so I sure would love to see the Lions acquire Myles Garrett and then, be playing with that hand. The last topic I want to talk about is Deebo Samuel. Where's he going to go? He is now a free agent. And if you look at all the teams out there that would benefit most and that would have the money and the cap space to get him there, here's a team also in the same division as the Lions. You've got, a team with the most cap space in the NFL. A team that on paper looks like they are prime for a big turnaround. You've got a head coach and offensive play caller who is every bit as fundamentally sound and creative as Kyle Shanahan. And you've got a number of key weapons around him. If you assume, which I'm going to, that the offensive line is going to solve its issues, then Deebo Samuel is one of, if not the best physical receiver in the game. DJ Moore, obviously, is another one. But then you've got the attitude he plays with, which is infectious. It's, he's a running back / receiver, and he's the best at both. And so that team I'm talking about is also up north in Chicago, the Bears, who I think as I said before, with the turnaround that is clearly destined to happen, I think that would be a great landing spot for Deebo Samuel.